Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we living. Well, there's been a kind of a debate between two players from way different eras. One recently retired, one retired decades ago in the NBA. So let's get into it. This is via NBA on ESPN Twitter. So JJ Redick, he has his own podcast, and he was on First Take. I believe Chris Mad Dog Russo was giving his best point guards of all time. He had Bob Cousy ahead of Chris Paul, which led to JJ Redick making this statement. He was being guarded by plumbers and firemen. Well, Bob Cousy finally responded via Sirius XM and NBA radio, mentioning Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain. We must have had the best firemen and plumbers on the planet. I think she had a lot more to say than that. So let's go to NBC Sports. Bob Cousy responds to JJ Redick. People with less talent, ouch, will always try to make a name for themselves by criticizing other people. Let's scroll down to Bob Cousy's exact quote. So he said, people with less talent will always try to make a name for themselves by criticizing other people and hopefully getting some attention and perhaps increasing their credibility. So when you respond to something like this, you play into their hands. I won't do that, but I will defend the firemen and the plumbers that he referenced. I'll just give you a few of their names of these firemen that I played with and against during those years. How about Bill Russell, the aforementioned? Not too bad a player. Wilt Chamberlain, remember that guy? He wasn't bad. I guess he must have fought fires as well. But in any event, Wilt Chamberlain, still the best, in my judgment. Small forward that ever played the game, a guy named Elgin Baylor. A couple of point guards that weren't too shabby. My colleague, who also had an award created, guy named Oscar Robertson, who was pound for pound the best player perhaps in the game. Jerry West wasn't too shabby. The guys on our team, Sam and Casey Jones, a guy named Hondo Havlicek wasn't too bad. Tom Heinsohn, Frank Ramsey, George Mikan, Bob Pettit. I could go on and on. And we must have had the best firemen and plumbers on the planet at the time, and I was very proud to play with them. So Bob Cousy played 14 seasons from 1950 51 to 1962-63, and then 7 games in 1969-70, but was named an all-star in each of his first 13 seasons in the NBA. 8 straight seasons, led the league in assists, was also a 6-time NBA champion, 8-time assist champion, 13-time All-Star, 12-time All-NBA, 1956-57 MVP, member of the NBA's 75th anniversary team, and inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1971. So basically, my question is, are you on Team Cousy or Team Redick? Yes, don't get me wrong. The players of today have more talent, but it's hard to compare eras sometimes because if you threw Bob Cousy, if he was born, let's say 50 years later, he's what, 93 years old, I think now? Yes, 93 years old. Uh, it would have been much different. He would have gotten much better training, much better diet. Things are different. Obviously, if you compare Bob Cousy to players of Dr. James Naismith's era, Bob Cousy would wipe them off the floor. Again, if JJ Redick was born in Bob Cousy's era, he wouldn't be shooting all these three-pointers because there was no such thing as a three-pointer. Yes, guys have had other jobs, but that's mainly because they didn't get paid as much. I'm just glad JJ Redick didn't mention teachers, or else might have been trouble. Anyhow, yeah, they didn't get paid as much even for that era where they needed to subsidize their income with a second job. So I don't think it's fair saying they weren't good basketball players just because they needed another job. But what do you guys think? Are you Team Cousy or are you Team Redick in this argument? Don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.